world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, made this for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching. Hey, 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 hey. Motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Brian Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban NerdCon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybach, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fennoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fennoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban NerdCon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Hey.
All right. Hello and welcome to another live edition of the ONG Strike Zone. I'm Brian Fulford. That's Kelvin Rozier and Kofi Hemingway. We are everybody's here. Kofi, you looked a little stressed and bothered like I am. We should be trading facial expressions right about now.
Look, I was sitting up there like, huh? What?
Yeah, that's how I've been the last several days. So good to have everybody here. How's everybody doing? Kelvin, Kofi, how you guys doing, brothers?
Well, I can't speak for my brother Kelvin, but as far as myself, I've been good, and it's been the same. It's been consistent. It's been hot. I mean, it's normally hot in Florida, but bruh, this summer just seemed like it's something different in the air and the atmosphere. That little chill we used to do, talking about it's hot over here. It must be Rattlers everywhere around the country, because it is hot. Lord knows it's hot. And
South.
It's the rain has been sparing.
Wow.
Hey, me too though. So
exactly.
Nah, it's been crazy, bro. I'm happy because I'd rather it be hot than to deal with snow and craziness and stuff like that. You just have to take precautions in the heat.
Well, you be safe out there, teaching them kids tennis. Be stay hydrated, as like they say. Stay hydrated.
Listen,
out
man,
there.
You gotta stay hydrated, and it's something that they taught us at NYSP about how to stay hydrated, how to know when your fluids, your body fluids are telling you how you hydrated, all of that stuff. Learned that at the National Youth Sports Program on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, where our water breaks consisted of a water hose and a water fountain. If you had one near you, you had 7 seconds to drink your little water and get out the way. That was it.
There you go. Kelvin, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I am doing wonderful. I can relate to what Kofi talking about because, I've had a couple of gigs I had to do in the month of June, outside events. So, absolutely staying hydrated and doing what you need to do the night before. Really start the hydration period early and get some good rest and make sure you prepare for the weather. Cover your head and some stuff that absorbs some of that wetness and so forth, and avoid some of those adult libations. All that good stuff. All that good stuff helps. But yeah, I'm doing well, man, because today was my Friday. I'm going on vacation, taking a little trip with the family to celebrate the 4th and see some folks, some friends and family.
There you go. Congratulations. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people taking some time off while you are enjoying vacation. I will be humping boxes and packing over the next
Boy, I
72
hours. About to say something else. But
next 72 hours.
All right.
Oh, so you finna move it? You moving into your $15 million mansion finally? Okay.
If I was, I'd be paying somebody to come get all of this and take it with. But unfortunately, I'm the one that's having to sell and purge. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk more about that a little bit later on in the show. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate you coming in and joining us. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you like the feed. Give a shout out to our moderator out there, Dr. Lori. I know she's already in there. See some folks already in the chat room checking in. I think Montre Bennett gets credit for being the first one in. Mary 305 comes in as well. I see T-Dos came in. I got a chance to meet that brother. Actually lives down here in my neck of the woods. And that just tells you about the popularity of the show. He recognized me in the public. So I'm like, whoa. And I thankfully I was, wasn't dressed all crazy. But, you can't do that when you go into Publix. You got to put on a collar. I feel like when I go to Publix, I got to put on a collar or something. Somewhat
it's not Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't go to Publix like I go to Walmart. I guess. But anyway, shout out to everybody there in the chat rooms. I'll give a shout out to a few more people. Got a loaded show today. It's the end of the year. We are 2 days, pretty much 24, 36 hours. It's the end of the 2021-22 year. So we are closing the books on the year, talking about fundraising, a big thing today. I mean, a lot of stuff going on in terms of fundraising, raising funds. It's the last day for a lot of change. You got extra. Look, I'm not in that position yet, but maybe one day when I have some extra money to give, it's a great time to give to your university. I know I saw something that we'll be playing a little commercial a couple times during the show. I know FAMU Foundation is, looking for final donations. You got 2 days, 36 hours, 48 hours to give some funds. If you still have them in your pocket and you want to give to FAMU, you'll see that commercial coming up a little bit later. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ONG Strike Zone. Thank you for all of the likes and views, sharing our show with everybody over the past few weeks. Some great discussions, things of that nature. Lots to talk about. There's never a dull moment with Rattler Nation. Let's start the show off by talking about our Rattlers in Paris. Right now, what an outstanding performance. Just 1 week ago, the Marching 100, the 35 young men and women that went over to perform in the Louis Vuitton fashion show. I think it was the men's. Right, the men's line. And it was audio there. There we go. Yeah, so that was a part of the intro that you heard there from the show. And a lot of love that came out of that thing. A great performance overall. I actually enjoyed watching it the second time. Watching it live sometimes was a bit challenging, but I enjoyed it even more the second time. What are your impressions? We'll start with you, Kofi, Mr. 100. What was your performance as you watched your brothers and sisters perform in France, in Paris? Wait a minute, we lost Kofi there. Mute. Get your mute. That's all right. Come on back.
Check. Mic check.
Gotcha.
All right. Look, I thought they did an amazing job. It was full of energy. It was full of life. The yellow brick road, the green helped the yellow brick road pop off very nice. We had a whole flag corps that came from the West Coast that was a part of the routine. These guys brought it, man. They just brought a whole new flavor to what we had. But to see the 100 do what it does, bring the energy and bring the hype. We weren't there to, play Mary Had a Little Lamb, so to speak. But we came and they brought that energy. They brought that Florida funk, and the Florida flavor. And I thought they did an amazing job. It wasn't a big unit, but it was a typical 100 show, and made Rattler Nation very proud.
Calvin, your thoughts and comments?
I echo my brother Kofi. It was awesome to see that orange and green popping off in front of the VIP in the world. And what I loved the most was that it was the 100, meaning that
Yes.
they brought them over and they didn't tell them what to play and what to do. All those songs and the moves, that's what we see routinely out of the 100. So they were telling the world, hey, we got this great iconic brand and we want to show y'all and feature y'all, the world about what they do and highlight that. We started the show and we ended the show. And I saw
Yes.
some clips with some celebs, right? First of all, Kendrick Lamar was one of the artists who participated, and I like to see him bobbing his head and vibing when the 100 was coming through. But then today on social media, I saw some other folks like Justin Timberlake and some other celebrities that were commenting on how the band just brought that extra flavor to the show and everything. So, man, it was all over social media. People still talking about it. I expect that there'll be some more opportunities. Of course, we always trendsetters the 100, but I'm sure they'll reach out some more. And I just hope that we can leverage not only the popularity in terms of viewership and the brand to the world, but we can monetize it. That's the next step for us. To me, we need to get some halftime sponsorships for the 100 and
Preach.
endowed scholarships. While
There
we
you
know
go.
why we out there.
Absolutely, man. And let me just say this as well. Every band has its own unique style and flavor. But it's not strange that Kanye West, the band has been on the Grammys. The band has been to Paris now twice. And they perform with Prince.
Yep.
There's something that the 100 brings to the table when it comes to their style with their dance routines, their ability to bring a new measure of creativity to the table. We're not trying to be like everybody else. I know much of the swag likes to, I want to say, copy a certain band from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but that's not us. So we'll leave that to the people in Jackson, Mississippi to continue to model themselves after Southern University. All right, so I just wanted to throw that little dig on out there.
Shade. Let me find some.
Yeah,
let me find my shades.
With the people
hey, already
not
like
even Southern University down there.
Not even 15 minutes. Not even 15 minutes into this show. Not even 15 minutes. I'll tell you what, boy. Damn.
Look,
I had the over under at 20, Kelvin. I had the over under at 20. I lost.
I was planning on being real nice to the Jackson State people, but clearly there is something uniquely wrong with many of them. Not all of them, because many of them have good sense. But a lot of them are really delusional. Like, I am like, you people are delusional.
We're going to talk about them.
Most
We're going to talk
delusional
about
people on the planet. I am like, what is wrong? Like, P. Diddy and gave them people $1 million. They came talking about us, I was like, we ain't have nothing to do with y'all. We happy you got your $1 million. Now fix the darn potholes with the $1 million.
We are happy.
Then y'all might
Everybody
be able to do
up.
something. Leave us alone. We ain't have nothing to say about y'all. But since y'all want to start stupid stuff, we gonna be more than happy to go ahead and finish it. Being all stupid and stuff. Just delusional people. Talk about. Now look, I got the last thing. I'm gonna let it go. Last thing, I'm gonna let it go. All right. So, they sitting up there talking about, this been the whole thing about a rival. Now, we all know that FAMU's biggest rivals are Bethune-Cookman, Southern University, and Tennessee State in that order. After that, your second tier would be Tuskegee and South Carolina State. After that, it's kind of like up for grabs. Now, the candidate for the rivalry is definitely, I would say, Jackson State. Now, are they on the level of a Bethune-Cookman? Absolutely not. Is FAMU a rival on Jackson State's level, like Alcorn and Jackson State or Southern Jackson State? Absolutely not. But trust and know, both schools want to beat the other school down. Both bands want to embarrass the other band. Both fan bases want to embarrass the other fan base. Trust and know, it was a bunch of trash talk from a couple of teams that really haven't played them, that really haven't played a whole lot. But you put them together on a big stage, it's a darn rivalry. It ain't no big rivalry yet, but it's a rivalry nonetheless. And, you know, until y'all start throwing shade, you know, we ain't got nothing to say to y'all, you know. But now, you know, back in the day, I want to say just a couple of years ago, we could have cared less about playing Jackson State. You know, and Jackson State probably could have cared less about playing FAMU. But now, all that has changed since we both on the East Coast in the east side of the conference. So now that we got a battle for these here titles and stuff, it's a new day, and we want to beat the crap out of Jackson State. I want FAMU to embarrass Jackson State on a national stage. I want FAMU to put their entire foot up a Jackson State. So you know what? I want Dion to be like, man, they just kicked our tail today. I want it to be just like that. So the delusional fans that are located in Jackson, Mississippi can shut it down for a few days. All right, I'm done.
Well, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of interesting stuff came out of that. We'll get into talking a little bit about that. I was going to echo before we kind of went down that road. I was going to echo. I think I saw Tamra on in the chat room echo about the musicianship and how good 35 band members sounded. You know, you know, it wasn't just blowing horns and being loud. You could hear it was sweet sounding music. It had a good volume and a good tone to it. It was good to hear good musicianship from that group, and that's what stood out for me in those selections. You know, and like I said, the fact that
it's not easy to do what the 100 does. That's why I don't know other bands playing dance, except for maybe Graham. But everybody else, they either just do a drum break and just keep it moving. Because it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
All right, go ahead.
It's not. We'll get into talking more about rivals, who is a rivalries. You know, we'll talk a little bit more about the 100's performance coming up here shortly. Excuse me, while we're in that mode of talking about fundraising and opportunities, we got a special guest who's going to be coming up and joining us shortly, I believe. At least that's what we have scheduled to come up and talk with us about an HBCU golf event happening in South Florida. But while we're waiting on that, we can transition to talking about the Strike Tour, which kicked off in Jacksonville, Florida. Last week, Jacksonville alumni raised $25,000. Now, all of this I'm getting from RattlerNation.blogspot. So those of you who are not familiar, you should be. But you know, and you know, sadly, I have to say, first off, let me give props to Rattler Nation, Blogspot for posting the article or the post and informing us, because nowhere else have I seen it mentioned about the fundraising efforts from the Strike Tour. You know, I think many of us were still a little unaware of the actual dates when the other and the next events will take place. We're still waiting on that. I've sent a couple emails to AD Michael Smith to try to get that information. And I know he's very busy, but I haven't seen that information come out yet. Hoping that we do find out, because we'd like to share. I mean, I don't know when they're coming to Orlando, when are they coming to South Florida, Tampa, other places like that. But they raised $25,000 on the first leg of that tour. Kelvin, care to comment on that in general, and either way you want to go with it? I've said what I've said. Anything you want to make comments about the first leg of the Rattler Strike Tour?
Well, I'm just glad, number one, that they are through and they uh, were able to get that one in and scheduled. And, 25 G's in the pot is nothing to sneeze at. We continue to, I think, lead the way in terms of, every summer for the last what 5 years. Our coaches have embarked on this tour. I think the volleyball coach, Coach Gokon, was with them also this time.
Yes.
So we're getting a chance to expose our coaches to our different alumni base, raise some money, and maintain relationships and establish new relationships. So, um, that's a good thing. There's a lot of things going on that I think make it challenging for Mike based on the timing when he got in. Right, we still got a lot of stuff going on with the stadium, um, and I know he had to go to Pennsylvania. We'll talk about some of the things he mentioned at the 220 Club today, and then a lot of his staff is out. Right now the athletic directors conference convention is out in Vegas, so I know a lot of staff is out there, and you still got game operations trying to get things ready for the upcoming season, and you got like 7 weeks. So there's a lot going on. So I applaud the effort, and we just need to make sure that we continue to do those things and get those other ones scheduled and to publicize it. That's the big thing. People should know. It should be on our websites, and people should know, a couple of weeks in advance before they come to a city, all that kind of stuff, so we can maximize those opportunities.
Well said. Now, Kofi, you're in Jacksonville, and you didn't even know too much about the actual event. Am I correct on that? Or what little you did know about it?
Yeah, but I'm just getting connected to the Jacksonville National Alumni Association chapter there, so I don't want to put it all. It just would have been, I think, communications wide if they have something on social media where everybody can immediately access it. If they can go to the FAMU athletics page, or just basic stuff, maybe a mass text, maybe another way to get the information out there and the location so that people can do it. If they can't even attend, maybe even sending like a video link, so that people can connect with them, et cetera, et cetera. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned a video link.
Just especially with the change of transition, when you have a change in transition like the one that we've had, there are going to be some little glitches and stuff. I'm happy that they are doing the tour. I'm happy that they got it up and running. I don't want to overly complain. At this point, it just is what it is. I'm happy that they're doing it so that they can, get what they can get. But in the meantime, if people can't connect physically, they should make it possible for them to connect digitally, and do it that way so that people can participate and give their ducats whenever and however they can.
Yeah, and again, I'm totally trying to be as positive here about it. And I think the only thing that we are really harping on is not knowing, and again, huge props to Rattler Nation .blogspot. Very well connected, great source of information. And there you can see, I don't know all of the gentlemen. Obviously, you see Greg Coleman there, Black College Football Hall of Famer there, right next to Coach Simmons. I don't know the other two gentlemen on the outer edges of this photo. I'm assuming you've got one gentleman that looks like he's part of the and Kelvin, Kofi. Any names? Anybody from those photos? That photo that you guys recognize? So
I recognize faces, but not the names. I know the guy with the jersey did play ball though.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah, and again, that's a photo. Again, that's on RattlerNation.blogspot. You can go and read more about that event. just kind of going back and just reading from that post. Again, A.D. Smith was there along with Coach Simmons and Coach Gokhan Yilmaz, head volleyball coach. We're on the tour. A.D. Smith said, quote, "We're excited to finally get out and connect in person with our fans. We love our fan base, and we love sharing our vision for FAMU athletics whenever and wherever." So again, no further details were provided about the tour, other than that the event raised close to $25,000 for FAMU athletics. And so, again, we'll get into that concept of raising funds and all of that stuff here in the course of this show, because a lot of news, a lot of stuff is happening, regarding raising funds. So just going to put that out there. Coming up on the other side of the break, we may have to reschedule. We had an event that we wanted to kind of share with HBCU Nation. And I guess I will go ahead and share it and go to a break, and because we're going to come up on the other side of the break with Shepiro Hardemon, and we'll talk with him a little bit about some of the things that he's doing, talk a little about the hundreds performance in Paris. But I did want to make mention of the event. Again, the event is the South Florida HBCU Golf Classic. It's Saturday, July 16th, played at the Ritz-Carlton golf course in Naples, Florida. And this is an event on Saturday, the 16th. There's a breakfast and registration at 7 a.m., an 8 a.m. shotgun start, lunch and post-tournament presentations. But it's a fundraiser for HBCUs. And especially if you are a Rattler in the South Florida area, you love golf, want an opportunity to play at a nice, beautiful golf course in Naples, I'm going to put the link in the chats, YouTube, so it'll probably show up. If I had there it is. Our producer Mel, she's on it. There it is right there. And so to give that link out again, birdease.com/HBCU golf. That's BIRDEASE.com/HBCU golf is where you can register for that event. I'll put the link in the chat rooms. And so those of you who are golfers and in the South Florida, there's a great opportunity to get out and go support some HBC. Might see a few celebrities there, because I know Mr. McCormick runs in some big circles down in South Florida. So you might see a few celebrities might be playing next to you or in your foursome. Let's take a break, come back, talk with Shepiro Hardemon on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Greetings, family. Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. And we have none other than the man, the myth, and the legend known as Shepiro Hardemon. Those that know him affectionately know him as Pi. He is a chef. He is a choreographer. He is a go-getter. He's an entrepreneur. He's all of that. And more importantly, he's my brother and my brother in Christ. And I'm happy to have him on. Shepiro Hardemon, what's up, man?
What's going on, Kofi Hemingway?
All is well, man. So tell us, man, I mean, you have literally you're the founder and the CEO of the Strikers and the Striker Youth Arts Project, correct?
Yes.
All right. How long has that been in existence, man? Did you think that back in 1989, when you got this started, that it was going to be as big as it was? Could you see all of that stuff at that time?
Yes, I could. To be honest with you, back in February 25th, to be exact, 1989. Yeah.
Well,
I could see it
remember,
really blowing up to what it is today.
I literally remember I want to say the performance at the BCU game at the Civic Center in the halftime. And I was like, these boys off the chain, boy, they finna turn it out. It's going to be off the chain.
We didn't even have a name at that time.
Right. It was amazing, man. I knew, and then, you know, of course, there's a school down in Daytona Beach that tried to copy and emulate and do some stuff, called themselves the Bad Boys.
Bad Boys of Cookman.
Yeah. And that was really, I want to say, a cop off of what you guys did. But what you have done, man, has literally changed. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and where you are right now?
Well, as far as the Strikers is concerned,
Strikers and the Striker Youth Project. Correct.
Okay, well, I'll start with the Strikers. February 25th, 1989 was founded on the campus of Florida University, along with 9 other young men from all over the country. Antoine Woods from Chicago, Illinois, Jerron Worlds from Atlanta, Georgia, Eric Bell from Atlanta, Georgia, Hinton Goo Battle from Fort Myers, Florida. Fort Pierce, Florida, we had was Curtis Hunter. We had Rodney James from Miami, Florida. We had Keith Davis, Miami, Florida. Brian Johnson, a.k.a. BJ, was the first King Orange and Green from Tampa, Florida. And I'm missing one other than myself. Jacksonville.
Was VH in that group, or did you already say
Anthony Fiacha, and of course myself. We were the 10 original. Anthony being from Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, so we started this thing together at the Civic Center. Venom Dancers, the director of that organization, the founder actually, she asked me to what I choreographed for the Venom Dancers because she wanted to get more the crowd more into what they were doing, or the team. And I told her what she should do is incorporate some guys. And at that time, there was, of course, the ratio to men to women, it was 8-1. And so I asked her to bring in guys who could dance and I can audition them. And that's what she did. And we were walking down the steps at the Civic Center and they asked, the announcer asked, what's the name of the organization? And we didn't have a name. She said, well, call them the Strikers. And of course, they didn't like the name. And I said, it is what it is. The young lady said, that's what we're going to be called. We're going to go with the name. And the halftime show was a success. And after that, every time we would go different like pep rallies and basketball games, they'd be like, we want the Strikers, we want the Strikers. And we didn't have an organization. And so we would go out on the court and just kind of like freestyle. But I had a group prior to that called the Bottoms Best. It was dancers all from the South Florida area. So I decided to go ahead and just start an all-male dance organization. And I asked the young lady who was over Venom for the name. She said it was fine that I took the name. And I had an audition, and we wound up picking 9 people from the original performance to form the Strikers. And it's been in existence since the last 33 years. Yeah, and then I started Mahogany Theater. Mahogany back in October 9th, 1997, which is a contemporary jazz and modern dance company. And in 2000, I founded the Striker Youth Arts Project, which is a nonprofit 501c3 company here in Tallahassee, located on the south side of Tallahassee.
Wow. So just tell the people a little bit about that vision, man, and what you all have going right now.
Well, with the Striker Youth Arts Project, pretty much was to provide enrichment services for youth through year-round arts, education, and athletic programs, accessing to technology for educational tutorial services, and coordinating events to showcase the artistic talents for the community. We're currently running this campaign called the 10K National campaign. And it's where we're trying to get 400 people to actually donate $25 towards our cause to get the $10,000 for operational expenses coming up to this end of this fiscal year.
Well, man, I've always been proud, and I'm going to turn it over to my brothers who have a few questions. Obviously, I remember when we were on the bus, ironically, in Paris, and I was like, man, I can see you with your own studio. And, now that you have that studio, now that you're impacting community, you're really in talking with a number of the people that you have launched into stardom through your own processes, I think it's just absolutely amazing because I've seen you at work as a leader of men. I was talking with one of them the other day who talked about how you ran such a rigid program that if they were, I want to say, a minute late at the door, how you would say, well, no, you're not going to perform. You're not going to make it. I'll see you next time. Or I'll see you at practice
Because
next time.
it was all in preparing them, because you don't ever want the audience to wait on you. So we have to start everything on time. So I'm a very time conscious individual, because as an audience member, I wouldn't want to wait on a performance to start late because of whatever reason. So I thought it was important, and it takes you into the professional arena, because no employer wants an employee that's going to be coming to work late.
Absolutely, man. And so, man, you started choreographing in the 100 back in the 80s, man. And so when you saw the 100 live in Paris, man, what was going through your mind?
No, I was the choreographer at the time in Paris. So what you saw was my creation.
No. I'm talking about the new one, the newest one.
Oh, okay.
We all know that you did the James Brown, but go ahead, get it set the record straight.
I thought they did a phenomenal job. Artistically, they were very creative. They looked very good, very sharp, and I thought they did an amazing job. And they represented the country, not only the FAMU Marching 100 in university, but the worldwide. Matter of fact, the SOS band. What's the name of the band? Are they called SOS?
SOS?
The SOS band. Matter of fact, it was on Facebook today about talking about how they were so impressed with the Marching 100 in Paris. Yeah. So yeah, they did a great job.
Yes, sir. All right. Kelvin?
Hey, so I wanted you to talk about a couple of things. One, I know that the strikers, man, they exploded on the scene, and they were so popular. They ended up going to Showtime at the Apollo several times and other events, and were on TV, and that was a source of pride. So I want you to kind of talk about how that happened, what made you all decide to go in that way, and then also I want you to talk about your choreography in terms of with the band. How do you come themes for the show and so forth, and your role in that.
Okay, I was trying to jot some things down as I was listening. Well, I'll start off with as far as the Apollo Theater. It started off, we did a performance for the Urban League. Used to have this like talent show during the summer at the Moon. And we participated. We had about 18 strikers dancing and then that performance. And there was this group from Albany, Georgia. They were really good, but they just weren't better than the strikers, called Trigger Run. And the judges selected them to win that talent show. And the winner of that talent show got an all-expense trip paid to New York City for the Showtime Apollo. Well, the crowd went, literally crazy. It was almost about to riot in that place. They were throwing chairs, and it was just bad. But the guys were good sportsmen. Edward Sylvain took the trophy, the second place trophy or whatever. And we left from there. And so that Monday, I got in contact with the coordinator of the show and just told him, I felt like we were robbed, because it was obvious that the city came out and in support, and we did a good job. The other team was good, they just weren't better. And so she just, she said we had to respect what the judges said. I said, okay, I'll go with that. Well, could I have the information for the Apollo Theater myself and let me contact them? And I contacted them. The lady named Maxine was her name. She asked that I send a videotape of the performance, and I did. And she called me back maybe 48 hours later and told me to go ahead and make arrangements to be a part of the same taping that the team that beat us in Tallahassee would be on the same team, on the same taping. So I contacted a lot of the Divine Nine organizations, particularly Alpha Kappa Alpha and Delta Sigma Theta, and asked them would they sponsor tickets for the dancers. And I was only going to perform with only 6. And the Beta Alpha chapter, the Delta Sigma Theta, they didn't only give us 1 ticket; they paid for 6 train tickets to New York City Showtime, New York City Apollo Theater, and we went with those 6 dancers plus others, and we won 3 consecutive nights. We beat the team that actually beat us in Tallahassee. We beat them in the first round, and we went on to 3 rounds. And since then, the group has been on Showtime at the Apollo. We've been on America's Best Dance Crew, season 3. We were there for many weeks. We've been on So You Think You Can Dance as a organization itself, and as a soloist dancer, 2 solo dancers. Brandon Mitchell was on the team, was a part of the show, and Jocelyn Orlay was also on Ska Dance. And now, as far as the March of 100 is concerned, I worked with that as the band's choreographer when I was in school in undergrad, and then when I graduated, Dr. White hired me, Dr. Foster's last year, in the band, and I was over the flag corps and the band's choreographer. We've done Prince, Super Bowls, we've done everything, Paris, France, but just to get that band to move as one, it takes a special person, choreography wise. We have a whole committee, to get together, and it was my job to really kind of like bring it all to life and get it very synchronized. And we wanted to always do what we consider the latest choreography or movement for today's time.
Awesome. Brian?
Shepiro, pleasure to, as I said, pleasure to meet you. I've never had a chance to actually meet, but I have heard your name for 30 years. I came in, I'm a kid from the Midwest. No, I'm serious. I'm a kid from the Midwest. When I say your name, probably the Strikers as well. I'm a kid from the Midwest. The most dancing I knew of was what they did on Footloose, and if I saw some old BET video. I'm just keeping it real. I grew up in the Midwest, so the Strikers were a part of that culture shock for a lot of folks coming from outside of Florida and the South, and seeing you guys do what you do was like, whoa. Talk a little bit about how that influence. I guess my question is more so about your influences in dance and music, and how you kind of molded that into what you've created over the past 33 years. I'm fascinated and interested about the origins of dance and your style of dance. Again, growing up as a kid in the Midwest, I hadn't seen anything like that, so I'm just a little curious there.
Well, I could definitely say that the Strikers style has influenced dance and especially in the urban community, as well as HBCUs throughout this country. The style of dance that I created is called urban soul. A lot of people call it ride out, but we have our own style. It's called urban soul, where we actually use a lot of contracting with high energy and pelvic thrusting, strong arm type of movement. But I was able to take my passion and turn it into a profession. I love to dance, and I can see the impact that it has made really throughout Tallahassee. When I look at the different organizations that kind of like, and this, I'm not throwing shots now, but a lot of organizations that derive from the Strikers or Mahogany. Every last one of them except for one that was house arrest because they were in existence in Chicago, and but everybody else were offsprings of the Strikers. And so I look, huh?
Go ahead.
So when I look at like Kobe mentioned earlier, the Bad Boys of Cookman, when we went down to Daytona to perform, I remember President Brunson, he asked us to do an encore performance at the end of the basketball game because we were just that good, and they didn't ask their team to actually dance, to ask the Strikers, but you could see a lot of the choreography and a lot of the drum majors throughout the country, HBCU's experience. You could see Strikers from the movie Drumline. I did the choreography for that movie, the 20th Century Fox Drumline. So a lot of bands kind of implemented a lot of the type of choreography that we actually we put together for that band.
So FAMU, at the end of the day, FAMU is y'all daddy. You hear that, Jackson State? FAMU is y'all
Absolutely.
daddy. All right. So listen. So let me say this. This man Shepiro Hardemon is a leader of men. Talk about the people that you have launched into stardom, that are now doing TV shows, doing movies, doing Netflix, got their start really into the entertainment industry through what you train them to do. Just give a list of those people and then tell the people how they can give to your organization. Because I can honestly say, I literally see young people, especially on the south side of Tallahassee, being able to benefit from this studio. The after school programs, they won't be out there on the street. They won't just be sitting at a table. They'll be able to learn dance. They'll be able to learn arts. They'll be able to learn and have professional tutors there to help them. So this $25 investment is I think, definitely a seed into the community in Tallahassee and beyond. All right, Shepiro, go ahead.
Well, thank you for that. Train, travel, I'm going to say tour. Train, touring, and performing are the three components that I really want to bring to this program, what we have to actually offer. When we say train, we talk about professionally. All genres of dance, being able to get the performers to be able to tour and travel to see other parts of this country and abroad, to experience what we actually do. Like in October, they're trying to get us to come to Dubai. There's an African festival over in Dubai, and that they're trying to get us to actually participate in. We have so many people have come through Strikers and got this start here. Some of the people, didn't even make the group on its first time when I first auditioned for the group. But we have a history of a reputation to turn in chicken fetus into chicken salad.
Right.
We got it.
Okay?
We got you. We got you.
All right. And with that being said, we have individuals that are professional. If you name a professional dance company, whether it's Alfred Ailey, Dallas Black Dance Theater, Cleo Parker, the list just goes on and on. They've come through Mahogany or the Strikers. We've had people representing those different dance professional companies. All of the dance movies, when Beyonce got her single lady, not single lady. So many of her videos. I don't want to start calling because I'd rather call one that wasn't one I was thinking of. But some of my dancers have toured with Beyonce. Several movies with when she did Homecoming. There was 9 of my dancers that were part of that. Matter of fact, there was one person that was on the creative team, Rashad Horn. You know, he was at the table with her people, and Rashad was one of my assistant rehearsal directors, and he was the actual artistic director in my absence when I went to Miami and helped my nephew on his campaign, and he won, by the way. And he's a striker as well. And we have Tally Brinson, who's in California, LA now, dancer as well as an actor. The movie, been in several movies. You have Peter Thalysma. You have Brandon Mitchell. You have Woody McClain, who did Bobby Brown, and now he's on Power. The list just goes on. You had Nadira Munaj, who's she was just every award show you're gonna see a striker at some capacity, and all of them got their start right here in Tallahassee with the Strikers Dance Troupe.
So, Mr. Hardemon, how can they give to your organization? What is the link? What do we need to do? What is the cash out, et cetera, et cetera?
The 10K national challenge that we're doing now, like I said, we're trying to raise $10,000, and our hopes is for 400 people to donate $25 to get us to that goal. We currently have a cash app that's $SYAPINC is the cash app. A person could actually they can Zelle it to us at syapinc@gmail.com, or they could mail us a check payable to SYAPINC, or they could address it to Striker Youth Arts Project, Inc., and mail it to 2221 South Monroe Street here in Tallahassee, Florida, 32301.
Hubba Shepiro, man, thank you so much for your time, man. I know you had a busy day. He is currently at his studio right now, hard at work, preparing for the next day, man. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with us your vision. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for all that come into contact with you, because this is entertainment royalty, people. I am trying to tell you, this man is as influential as they come. So if you have, you're able to go ahead and sow, that would be, I want to say, you're sowing a seed into somebody's destiny who you might not even know yet. But I promise you, when they come into contact with Mr. Hardemon, they're going to be changed forever. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Shepiro, for joining us on this evening. I believe we're about to go to a commercial break.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Good word, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Shepiro.
you. All right.
All right, let's head to a break. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone. Be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban NerdCon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fennoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fennoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there, and I want to meet you at the Urban NerdCon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm. Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hello, Rattlers. It's year-end dollar day. We want you to contribute at least $1 to your alma mater, Florida A&M University, to increase our alumni giving rate. You can text your contribution to 41444 or send it to FAMUrising.com. Thank you in advance for your generosity for making FAMU continue to be the greatest of all institutions in the nation.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Kofi again. Appreciate Shepiro Hardemon for joining us. It was a pleasure to get a chance to meet him, put a face with the name, and probably myself, like so many others, may have heard the name. You probably heard the Strikers, but you didn't know who he was. So that was a great great job there. Again, FAMU Rising, want to remind you guys, we're closing the books on the 2021-22 academic and school year, academic athletic year. What's the one memorable thing you remember about this past year, Kelvin? One thing, just one.
Beating Bethune-Cookman in football at the Classic.
All right. Kofi, how about you? One memorable moment from this past year.
I'm going to tell you my memorable moment. My memorable moment was my man from Mississippi Valley State that came on our show with no shirt on. That was my memory. I promise it will never leave my mind. That right there, I was not ready. And then when we asked him about it, his answer when he told us that he was waiting on some ladies and thought we was out there, I was like, bruh, you
had his good teeth. Because that might be number one.
Listen, he was off the chain. And then it was my man Greg Coleman singing My Ding-a-Ling. That one right there, I'm telling you right, boy, that was I was off the
Yeah,
chain.
no lie. The Greg Coleman interview might have been one of the best ones that I recall. And yeah, I gotta echo the sentiments with you, Kelvin. The 100, the third quarter. I mean, the third quarter of the Classic was just memorable. That thing, and then you add the soundtrack behind it. And I don't care. I still have not seen anyone completely merge the video with the audio to give me this, memorable moment. I got like pieces over here and pieces over there, but if you merge it all together, it was one of those moments that it's like you guys in the chat room were talking about the 92 Apollo. I remember being in the dorm rooms and we stayed up late night to watch Showtime at the Apollo because, it came on like at 11:30, midnight or whatever.
Yeah.
And you knew the
After
strikers were
news.
coming on. Yeah, so everybody stayed up in the dorm rooms watching the show, and so you remember moments like that. And so yes, you'll remember where you were that third quarter when FAMU ended that streak. That'll be one of those moments from this past year that I truly appreciate. We appreciate everybody. Our first full year almost coming to an end because we actually started our show sometime about second week in July, so we're not quite at our anniversary, but it's been a fun year, and we're looking forward to growing and adding on some things as we move forward. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to talk to the Bohler brothers, BJ and Kendall, two of the baddest defensive backs in that dark cloud defense. We're looking forward to talking with those guys. A lot of Rattler family love there with those guys. They actually have a younger sister who's a FAMU cheerleader. Parents, FAMU folks. So I mean, it's a lot of orange and green pride in that family. So we'll get a chance to talk to those two guys, expecting them to have a great season leading our secondary back there. But hey, let's get into talking. Okay, Kelvin, final days for the season ticket holders, right? Last days for you to get your renewal tickets in. I don't know if our producer has the graphics, but I was looking at the season prices for the season tickets. You can also on Ticketmaster, you can go to, if you're a part of the Rattler Athletic Fund, anything you want to comment on, Kelvin, regarding those prices for the Rattler Athletic Fund for the season ticket prices? Are they pretty much to script of what they were last year? How much of an increase from the previous year? Anything you want to add there, Kelvin?
So, no, they didn't really change a whole lot. We had a transition going on, and then they have to deal with the west stands and new press box, which took away seating. So they had to be conservative because they knew they were going to have to move people around with a lot of that seating being reserved. Season ticket holders, long time reserved season ticket holders on that side. So I myself am waiting on the inventory to see what it looks like because they've been stating that parking inventory was sold out. Still trying to wait and see what the tailgating inventory is going to look like, as well as the RV and so forth. So I know they're still hashing out some things, and they waiting to see for this timeline to end and everybody who's paid up before they release that inventory. So folks who plan on going back to their normal spots, they need to make sure that they beat that timeline because there's people out there waiting on that inventory to free up now.
Right. Those of you in the chat rooms, give us a thumbs up. Let us know, did you renew your season tickets? If you're a part of the Rattler Athletic Fund, did you renew? If you're invested in champions, I want to see those thumbs up. If you renewed your season tickets, or maybe you're one of those people like Kelvin, you're waiting on the inventory to open up. What do you want to add, Kofi?
Well, I wanted to ask Kelvin, having worked in athletics, because there was a discussion, what's the benefit if, in us buying season tickets at a record pace? What's the benefit?
Well, number one, whether the weather's bad or you show up to the game or not, that revenue is already into the athletic budget coffers, and that is like one of our number one revenue streams in athletics. So number one, you supporting the program and the student athletes. That's the way you have to look at it. Um, Number two, you're getting certain perks by being a season ticket holder. I mentioned parking and premium seating. And this year, with the Investing in Champions group, if you renewed on the west side, they having chair backs. So you automatically get some chair backs with your seating at that level. And I believe at the higher levels of the Investing Champions, you also get um, some classic tickets and parking for the Orlando Classic. So you getting the perks and so forth, but ultimately, we need about, I want double digits, but I'll settle for now 5,000. We've gotten as high as 4,000, I believe, season ticket holders. But we should have no less than 5,000 season ticket holders. And I will add that capacity in the stadium is going to be anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000 seats less. So there's no guarantee you can show up on game day and get a ticket or get in. Our capacity is going to be closer to 21,000 instead of the 25,500. So to guarantee that you can get into, no matter what time you come to the game, you got other things going on that Saturday, to know that you already got your digital ticket, and you can show up if you show up second quarter, that you still got your seat. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, but that's the advantage. You're guaranteeing money into the coffers of the program to support the athletes, and also you're guaranteeing access to premium benefits.
That's a good point about the reduction there in our total capacity. And again, I know we've averaged. I don't know what was last year's number. Did we average over 17 at home?
It was over 16, but they didn't count one to get the first game because of some issues with the ticketing system. So that game was over 20,000. So if you averaged all the games for last year, we were definitely over 17,000. But I think officially it was 16,500 or something around, so somewhere around there.
Yeah, I feel like this should be an easy 20,000 year. You opened a home stand with Albany State. Theoretically, could have been the top. They were one of the top two HBCU Division II teams. Very easily one of the top teams in Division II. They will come back with a loaded defense. That'll be a good contest. Alabama A&M. I mean, look, if anybody, maybe next to Southern, I don't think anybody has rebuilt themselves more through the transfer portal than Alabama A&M. And if you believe in Connell Maynard, trust that he will come with an offense. That will be interesting. Valley already improved. A lot of people think Mississippi Valley State will be improved. UAPB for homecoming, that's homecoming. Lambs to the slaughter. Sorry, but you know what that's going to do. And then you got Southern to end the season. So I don't, 19 should be the minimum of any game, and that might be the Valley game. So I really feel like we should definitely be averaging close to sellout numbers at every home game this year, and be thankful that you have 5. Again, I remember those days when we only had 3, 4. So
right.
And we used to be in complain about having to get a 5th one, right? Let's move on for a second, because as we sort of hinted at the beginning of the show, the Marching 100's performance at the Louis Vuitton fashion show, just so happened to coincide with this little announcement that happened on Sunday at the BET Awards. Puff Daddy feeling himself, might have been on a little few Ciroc drinks, I don't know. But he decided to just come out and give $1 million to Howard. And then he decided to give $1 million to his good friend Deion Sanders in the Jackson State football program. And that just sent Tiger Nation crazy. I will say it was significant, I thought, guys, from the standpoint of he made an individual donation to an athletic program, which if you guys read the news recently, University of Central Florida, UCF, just received a $5 million donation to athletics from some donors. That was their largest in the history. So a lot of organizations get money, millions of dollars. We've seen it from FAMU. FAMU has received millions of dollars in donations. The state giving us millions of dollars. But when we talk about giving specifically to athletics, what Diddy did was pretty significant. And I mean, look, even the money that we got from, I take that back because FAMU didn't get money from McKinsey, did they? We didn't get money from her, unfortunately.
Amazon.
Yeah, we didn't get from Miss Amazon. That was a shame. But when we talk about giving a single donor giving a significant amount of funds, congratulations. Congratulations to them. What y'all didn't need to do was throw shade at us, and that's where things got sideways. Because it kind of coincided a lot with this talk about rivals. I'm going to reference Kofi's tweet, which beautifully said Kofi in his tweet. And I'm going to quote you, Kofi, because he said, bruh, only social media egos and trash talk won't acknowledge FAMU versus J-State as a rival. This is a unique period in HBCU folklore. The hatred is growing between these two schools. Kofi, care to expand or expound on that tweet?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. We don't have a long history with Jackson State, but our fan bases are pretty similar. Our traditions are kind of similar. The outlook for the schools is very similar. Even the history and the civil rights movement is very similar. The fact that we're both in capital cities is also similar. It's not as big as it's going to be. I'll put it like that. It's going to get bigger because now these two institutions are in the same exact division. The bands are in the same division, and both fan bases love their schools tremendously, and they want to win. Jackson State had been down for a minute. They couldn't say anything.
Look at it, they done got him.
Wasn't nothing to say. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Kelvin, what are your thoughts about the nature of individual donations? I mean, and the significance, and where are we? Where is FAMU's large individual donation coming from?
So I want to comment about the rivalry first, and then I address that. JSU FAMU is a budding rivalry. It's not a rivalry yet. We just haven't played enough, to be honest. We played Southern more than outside of Tuskegee and I want to say Bethune. I think we played Southern more than anybody else. So we used to playing them. And so it goes back generations. We've played JSU out throughout the years, but it's been very sporadic. We may play them once or twice in a decade, right? So our fan base is familiar and respect their tradition, but their fan base is similar to ours. To be honest, we brag a lot and we talk trash, and it got a lot of pride in our school and our bands and our athletic program. Got a lot of tradition. So right now with everything that's going on with them and we're winning, they're winning, particularly in multiple sports, but particularly in football. We're going to continue to talk at each other. But at the end of the day, both schools are doing. For me, there was a time I used to be a trash talker. Now I just like to look at you after we whoop your butt.
Yeah.
But it's not a rivalry yet, but it is a budding rivalry. It's getting there.
Well,
and then and in terms of just giving, yeah, and just in terms of big donations, I think we have people who run in those circles and have those connections. Will Packer, the theater's named after him for a reason. He gave a big donation. However, I do think we have some work to do in terms of our team and our leadership, because they have less of the relationships as the rest of us in Rattler Nation, and they need to have those relationships and build those relationships so that they can be responsive in a timely manner, and come with vision. It's more than just give me money, right? All right, we have this capital campaign, and your money will go to X, Y, and Z. So I talked previously about structure. We need that structure.
Yeah. Kofi, did you want to finish your thoughts before you got sniped?
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. It's a rivalry. It's a budding rivalry, but it's still a rivalry. Now, is it BCU level rivalry? Is it Alcorn JSU rivalry? No, but it's gonna get there. Give it a little time. It'll get up to a spot, and it'll never be BCU level rivalry. FAMU Jackson State will never be Alcorn Jackson State rivalry, but I think that it will have its own unique place. And, people will come to respect it. I mean, you have to beat them if you want to freaking win the division. So, it is what it is. Both schools want the prize, and I'm excited about the OBC. So let's go.
To the victors goes the spoils. I mean, we're 59 days away from the start of our season, but that OBC game, we thought it was going to be big. We thought it was going to be big, but I really had no thought that it would carry 11 months, 12 months. I mean, I thought it might be a 4-month thing, but it really has turned in
non-stop, bro. And let me
nonstop.
say this, because this is all because we're all in the same division, right?
Yes. Yes.
But the games with Jackson State and FAMU are always, except when FAMU blows them out, okay? They're always close. They're always close. If you go back to the 70s, it's close. The game that we played for the playoffs, it was a close ball game. It was a 5-point ball game. The game when they played us in Tally, it was a 3 or 4 point game. Then go back to Jackson, it was a 1-point game. These games come down to the last second, whether the teams are good, whether the teams suck, it does not matter. That game comes down, and that's something we just haven't been in a position where it really mattered like it does now.
Right. Just to give an update, coming up here at the bottom of the hour, we'll have BJ and Kendall Bohler joining us here at the bottom of the hour. Let's do a quick recap from the 220 Club. That a lot of interesting information that came out of that. Of course, the 220 Club, one of the directs, I don't know, would you call them a DSO, Kelvin?
I don't know if they're affinity groups, what I call them. They're one of those many of affinity groups who give through the foundation to support specifically athletics.
Okay. Well,
No.
this past earlier today, they had Lynn Thompson, the former Bethune-Cookman athletic director who'd been on the job, I believe, for about 30 years or so, one of the longest tenures in HBCU athletics. He's now working as a strategist for the MEAC. And of course, he stepped down. He stepped down maybe in 2020, or actually stepped down right before the SWAC, right before Bethune and FAM joined the SWAC. So some of the talking points that came out of this, and I know you had a chance to go back and watch this, Kelvin. I'm not sure how much of it you got a chance to watch, Kofi, but I thought it was interesting that he let out of the bag, and this came, I guess, via, I don't know how much of this came from Vaughn sharing this with Mr. Thompson or what, but something about the fact that the 100 would be outfitted by Louis Vuitton. Like Louis Vuitton would be outfitting the 100 in new uniforms. Which was pretty interesting. You seem suspect on that, Kofi. You know something?
It's not like you're not going to see a Louis Vuitton band uniform,
Right,
that's
sure.
going to have, it's, kind of like pep rallies, battle of the bands type stuff, stuff like that.
All right. So, but still, hey, any chance you get new uniforms and you can get them completely paid for, that's huge. Yeah. No doubt. Also, Thompson gave a little background on the history of the Florida Classic. I found out it was interesting, talking again about how that all came to be. Of course, the Classic is owned by FAMU and Bethune, managed by Florida Citrus, which then brings up what a lot of people have brought up lately. What? We're clearing just $1 million, but having an impact of 30 times that, and what that means, that's the thing that has a lot of people scratching their heads. So it'll be interesting to see. And again, as was stated in this, Orlando never made a bid for this. And, I had some people share that Orlando never made a bid for it. So the question is, will other cities have an opportunity to bid on this in upcoming years? Something to think about.
Yeah, it's something that I don't think that we should necessarily let our leadership get away for not allowing the other cities to bid. It is irresponsible for us not to allow the other cities to bid, knowing that Tampa offered FAMU and Bethune-Cookman considerably more money to play the game in Tampa. It causes Orlando to settle into their spot and give the schools less than what they really deserve. It's not right. We don't know what Miami would have offered. And I know that they would love to have a game as big as the Florida Classic. Jacksonville makes a ton of sense for both schools, being that it's the closest to both schools. It just makes a ton of sense. But when you don't allow the bid to take place, it's just irresponsible. And we can't allow that to continue.
All right. Let's do this. I know we got some more that we want to get through talking about the 220 Club, but we need to take a break before we get our next guest. We've got BJ and Kendall ready to join us. Let's take a quick 2-minute break. Come back with the Bohler brothers on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. As we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU dive.
Okay.
As well as the upcoming week of HBCU
right?
sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Watson and Charles.
We have to switch over to my phone.
Sports lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban NerdCon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fenoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fenoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban NerdCon Gaming and
we can hear you.
Cosplay
Can you hear us?
It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. TheUrbanNerdCon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic.
Can you hear us?
We can help.
Yeah.
Find
Can
the
you hear us?
resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean. Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better with a diamond weave texture. Your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Sherman?
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back, Rattler Nation. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi here, back on the ONG Strike Zone. And I believe we've got our guests ready to join us right now.
Yes, sir.
Joining us live from their homes in Tallahassee, Florida, is two of the baddest defensive backs in the Dark Cloud defense. Kendall Bohler on the left, Geisen BJ Bohler on the right. Fellas, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing well. Is the audio working now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We got you.
Clear now.
Okay, yeah. We doing good. We doing good. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you guys for taking time out to join us. I know it's busy this time of year for you guys. So let's kind of get into it. Let's chop it up a little bit. First off, for both of you guys, as we kind of think back to last season, what are some of your personal and team accomplishments that you're most proud of when you think back to last season? We'll start with Kendall. We'll let the younger guy go first, and then BJ, we'll let you finish it off. So what are some of those accomplishments or things from the last year that you're most proud of when you think back to last season?
Some accomplishments that I'm really proud of. Our team, we fought real hard. Cause we had a rough start, I should say. Cause they say Jackson State game was a really hard game for us, but we just came. We played them USF games. We came and just had a 9-win streak. I'm just proud of my team and everything. We've been working real hard for it.
How about you, BJ?
Okay, yeah. I agree with everything he said. I think one of our biggest accomplishments was we were ranked like the #1 defense for a few weeks throughout the FCS. Like towards the middle, 4, 5, week 4, 5, 6 or whatever. I think that's what I'm really most proud of. My defense, we just work so hard, we fight so hard, we go out there and practice with the offense all the time. Anyone can tell we get after it. We compete. Sometimes we fight a little bit, but that's what brothers do. And of course, making it to the FCS playoffs. I mean, you can't not mention that. That was a really big accomplishment, especially for a SWAC team, and HBCU team. That's a really big accomplishment, and I'm just proud of my guys for that.
BJ, let me go to you for a second, BJ. From that season, after that tough loss from the Jackson State game, and then knowing everything that you guys had to work for just to have the opportunity to play in the playoffs, what was the season grind like for you guys, knowing that you almost had to be flawless in so many words in the rest of the season just to have that opportunity? What was there any extra pressure that you felt? Talk a little bit about the journey after that opening game.
Well, yeah, like after that loss, it was very, very tough loss for us and me and my guys. Really, probably the next day or the next 2 days after that, we got together, we called a team meeting, played on the meeting, and said, hey, we know we lost this game, so really the season kind of not really in our hands like that. So we can only control what we can control. So we just went out there week by week and just got after it. We knew that we were better than what we put on field in Miami. But it was just a grind week after week. We knew what we were capable of. We knew that if we couldn't get to that celebration board, that we could possibly fight for the FCS playoffs spot, and we did just that. So, celebration bowl was out of our hand. Atlanta was out of our hand, but we got what we could have got, and which was the FCS playoff bid.
Yes, sir. Kelvin, go ahead, jump in there.
So now y'all done had a year on your belt. You started, you had a successful season. You coming into a new season. You had some guys who've been around the program for a while that left, in linebacker and at safety's position. Those guys are gone. So you all are the veterans now. Talk about your leadership style. I'm seeing a lot of videos and I'm liking what I'm seeing. that it seems to be a hood. You're working hard and everything. Just talk about stepping into more of a leadership role and how things are going this summer so far for both of you.
Yeah, the summer's going really well. We got to push the guys in the work room to get better each and every day. We got a lot of freshmen coming in. They trying to take the easy route, but we just got to keep pushing each other each and every day to make sure each other get better. And yeah, growing up, I've always been just a natural born leader. I mean, I'm thankful God blessed me with that. So I lead. I'm a vocal leader as well as I lead by example. Everyone kind of always wonder, hey, this kid, he's only so big, so tall. How's he lifting just as much as me? How's he running just fast as me? I put in the work day in and day out. My teammates see that. That's why, we always in the weight room fighting with each other. Oh, BJ, I'm doing more than you. Oh, Lan, I'm doing more than you. So, it's a competition. We all fight. Like I say, it's a grind, it's a brotherhood. And we all, so we go out there together, you know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. We all grind and make each other better. Iron sharpens iron. Yes, that was a competition in the weight room.
Okay, so a follow-up to that real quick. What's your expectations? What accomplishments do each one of y'all want to see, both as a team, but then individually?
This season, I'm trying to get that SWAC championship. I'm trying to win that celebration, but I'm trying to win it all. And as season goal, I'm really trying to lead the SWAC in interceptions this season. Okay, and yeah, I can agree with that. Of course, the celebration bowl would be sweet. Knocking whoever off on the other side of the SWAC first of all, and then getting that championship in Atlanta. And personally, what I want to do. I ain't never really thought about it too much. I think I just want to top everything that I did last season. I had 4 picks last season, 12 PBUs, 50 sometimes. I really just want to just top myself in every stat. Just keep on striving to get better each season. So that's probably my goal right there.
Awesome.
Well said. Well said. Kofi, go ahead.
Upper fellas. Well, first off, I want to say you guys, obviously made an impact because I'm sitting up at the spring game and I look up and then there's Mercer's football team that comes and they're sitting down in front of us. I'm like, where these jokers come from? Are they looking to transfer? What they looking to do? But they was like, man, we coming to support our boy, man. We coming to support our boy, man. So obviously you made a big impact, even in Bear Nation, so to speak. I think that would be an amazing game. FAMU playing Mercer. I think that'd be a crunk game, personally. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be a really good game. I mean, I call them boys each and every day. They still talking about they could see they want to play us each and every game. But yeah, that'd be a really good game, I believe. Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we do a lot of trash talking with them boys because they got kicked out of the top 25 and out of the FCS playoffs, and we got put in it. So we do a lot of bickering, a lot of bantering back and forth. But it's all out of love. It would be a good game though, for sure. Yeah, that'd be real.
Well, cool. Well, look, man, so going into this year, there's been a lot of talk about the defense. I think the defense was probably one of the best in FAMU's history last year. But even in the spring game, I was noticing just, I don't know if my eyes was playing tricks, but it seemed like the defense got faster and more explosive this year. So what do you guys think? You think you guys have an ability to maybe top what you all did last year, or is it going to be on par?
I think we'll be able to top what we did last year, of course. Like I said, we've been putting in work. I feel like this year we're a little bit more loose, not as tight. I feel like last year, we kind of got a little bit big-headed. Like I said, we were one of the top FCS defenses. We were one of the top pass defenses, run defenses. So I feel like this year we're a little bit more loose. We kind of just laying back a little bit, just playing our game, having fun, doing us. And our strength coach, Coach Forney, he's definitely pushing us, on the weight room, on the field. So I think that has something to do with us getting bigger, faster, stronger. But I think we're gonna be, even better team than last year, even better defense than last year. We got some good guys coming in, got some key transfers coming in. I'm not gonna say too much. I don't know who's all watching, but I think we're gonna be really good this upcoming season for sure. Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're gonna have a way better season than last year with defense going up for it.
Yeah, you best believe they watching. A lot of them folks from some of them.
I see them in the comments.
Yeah, they in there. They watching. They know. Hey, Kendall, let me ask, because you had a great season running there in the middle of the season, early middle of the season, and then of course you had a season-ending injury that took you out of the last couple games of the year. First off, how has your recovery been from the injury? How are you feeling? And then secondly, what kind of motivation was that for you when you saw? Obviously you saw your brother have a great end of the regular season in the Florida Classic. You weren't there to be with your team as they went into that playoff game. How did that motivate you in the spring during your rehab process and right now and you're going through the summer?
My recovery is going really well. It feel like nothing even happened to my elbow at that point. I've been going to the weight room, doing rehab. I got an MRI, everything's well. Everything's going well on my elbow. And what's really motivating me, probably really my brother, because that game I got hurt, he had a great game. He had 2 interceptions. He would go out there and doing his thing. And the next game against BCU, he won the MVP of the class. He did the best he could do out there. He just really showing me a way, just paving the way for me, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And BJ, you talked about that natural leader that you are. What was it like there? For you. I mean, your brother he was tracking towards. He was having a great season, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there with you and your teammates. What was that like for you? And how did you keep him with his head up and keep him motivated during the course of his rehab?
Yeah, that was a bit tough seeing your brother go down. I mean, of course, I see my brothers go down on the team, but when you see your own blood go down, it's kind of a little, you shed a little tear with that one. But I told him, what I'm saying, I got us. I'm gonna ball out for me and you. That's why I went out there and got 2 picks versus UAPB. But yeah, man, just him going down made me want to go even harder. Cause I know if he was out here, he was out here playing with me on the other side, that he would have been going just as hard for me. So I just laid it all out on the line for him and the rest of my brothers on the field, and then we went out there and we got it, man. So it's definitely sucks to see that happen, but had to pick up the slack in the back end, knowing that the other ball is down.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So BJ, you're getting a lot of accolades preseason with players to watch. Potential HBCU players going to the next level and so forth. I've never really heard you talk about those kind of things, those individual things, but I'm sure they're goals of yours. So there's some expectation there. Tell me how you approaching that whole situation in terms of expectation. I know you have expectation of your own self, so kind of just talk about that.
I mean, going to the league has always been a very, very, very big, big dream of mine. Growing up, throughout my college years, I've kind of almost lost sight of it a little bit, just because I've kind of always been more of a student than an athlete. I've always been really big on my future, real big on being successful in life. I know football is going to come to an end, so throughout my college years, I've kind of always been thinking about what's next after football. What am I going to major in? What am I going to get my degree in? What I want to do in life? Forgetting that I'm really talented. I'm strong, fast. I'm not the biggest, but I can play football. So now I'm getting these kind of accolades, and it's it just shows me that people are watching. People are seeing that, hey, this kid can play ball. This kid can he can run with the guys. He can hit with the guys. He can jump with the guys. So that's just all really motivated me just to up my game even more. So now it's like kind of dreams kind of turn into reality, knowing that these people are here to believe in me a little bit. So why not believe in myself, knowing that I can do it. So yeah, it's just all motivation, man. It's all motivation, especially seeing Marquise Bell, my boy, go to the next level. That's just just big time. So I love all the hype, but I don't dwell on it too much.
Yeah.
Man,
Go ahead,
so
Kof.
let's get it, man. So what games we looking forward to, man, and what can we expect from this 2022 version of the mighty FAMU Rattlers, man? What games are we looking forward to?
This season is gonna be a really interesting season. All these transfers going to all these new schools or whatever, but games looking forward to, definitely Jackson State. We got to get that back. We definitely get that back. Jackson State. I'm gonna say Southern. That North Carolina game gonna be real well too. I feel like we really got a shot to get them boys. I'm gonna say Bethune. Bethune definitely. That's where that rivalry go way back. And probably I'm gonna say A&M.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So games for me, what I'm looking for this year. I mean, he said it. He hit it on the head already. Jackson State. I mean, everybody know what the deal is in the SWAC. It's either gonna be FAM or Jackson State. I didn't have my best game against them last year. That might have been my worst college football game. So I definitely got a bone to pick with them for sure. But other than that, UNC, that's FBS games. So of course, I want to ball out in that. That'd be a great game for scouts or whoever to look at. I definitely want to put it all out there. Um, and what else? And probably
I see Graham. I ain't thinking about Graham too.
and probably Southern. I mean, I like Southern. I got a couple homeboys. Benny and Bichon's quarterback transfer and the cornerback transfer. They brothers just like me and my brother. So I'm really looking forward to that game as well at home. Yes, sir.
Man, y'all have like a total like 10-game winning streak. Is 11 now. Game winning streak at home. So, obviously, what is the vibe like when you all step into Bragg versus being on the road?
Bragg's definitely lit. It's like a whole different world in there, man. The fans go crazy. You got the Marching 100 just sounding off. It's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling to be there. You on the field, you're hearing that band going. A different vibe.
Yeah, I agree. It's me and Kendall first year here at FAMU, and it's definitely a different atmosphere. I feel like I'm almost at a club or at a house party or something playing in Bragg. I feel like it's hard for other teams to play in Bragg because you got the fans right up breathing on your neck. You got Marching 100. You got DJ Luke's kid up in the press box. So I love playing in Bragg, and everybody know what time it is when they come to Bragg. We don't lose at Bragg. We've been saying that, and we're gonna keep on saying that. We don't lose at Bragg. So yeah.
Last thing before I turn it back over to my boys, man. That A&M game when you all were like 18 down, like what was that vibe like on the sideline, and what got y'all crunk?
The vibe was really rough. It was rough, but we got to just sit down and talk it out. We had to sit down and talk it out, talk to the offense, we talk to the defense. We had to get it together, make a plan, and go strike with it.
Yeah, that was definitely that was definitely tough right there. Being down 18 points to another really strong offensive team in the SWAC with a kill glass out there. It was definitely tough being down 18, but offensive guys kept on repeating, hey, I got us. Hey, we got y'all boys because they kind of we was doing what we could do, but they kind of putting us in some bad situations here and there, scooping scores, picks, down in the red zone. So the boys like, hey, we got us. So we bleed in the offense, we put our faith in them boys, and the next thing you know, Bishop Bonnet running 80, 90 yards to the touchdown. So
let's go.
We just stayed the course, and we bleed in them boys. We had faith, and they put it out for us.
Hey, I don't know if a lot of people know, but you guys are now legacy Rattlers. Because your family were Rattlers. Obviously, besides you two, your sister, she's a cheerleader. Talk a little bit about what's it like as when you hear the stories from your pop and your grandpop. I know them, so I know what kind of stories they tell. Good storytellers, by the way. So I know you guys hear the stories, but what's it like to be those legacy Rattlers where now you can, you heard the stories and now you're experiencing it. You're putting on the uniform and the helmet. You're out there, you're supporting, your siblings. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be Rattlers and carry on the legacy that the people that before you, that they set the trail for.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome to be a legacy at such a prestigious historic university. Like I said, I hear stories all the time from my dad, my godfather Clay. If you're watching Clay, what up? But just hearing all those stories really makes me want to go back to those times, the 80s and 90s, back when they was in school, because it seemed like it was jumping, like it was so lit. And now we kind of battling COVID a little bit. We kind of slowly getting over the hump, but it's just an amazing feeling just to be on the same campus, walk the same quad, touch the same rattler head that my parents did, and now I got my sister here as well. So it's just an awesome feeling just to have all the bowlers up on campus, and just like I said, just a historic prestigious university, and I'm just glad that I'm able to live it up just like how they did. Definitely.
Same way, Kendall. You feel the same?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's definitely a blessing that we all up here. It's not you don't really see that much. Seeing your brother and sister all on the same college at the same time. It's really a blessing. Yeah.
All right, Kelvin. I'll let you close out with the final question for Kendall and or BJ.
Okay, well, so what? First of all, are y'all? How's classes going? How many hours are y'all taking during the summer? And how close are y'all to finishing up your degrees?
This summer I'm taking 6 classes. Class is going really well also, and I should be graduating next spring.
Okay.
Health science major. So yeah, it's going really well.
Okay.
Yeah, we taking 6 hours right now in the summer. Gotta get that financial aid.
Right.
And yeah, I graduate in the fall, and I graduate in the fall with my IDS major, and in the spring with health science as well. And I plan on going to nursing school after football said and done.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Good information. I'll
Yes,
leave it
sir.
right there.
All righty.
All right. Hey, guys, before we let you go, why is he sorry for doubting us? Why is he sorry?
Nah, Scotty got on, the bowlers and stuff after that Jackson State game. He was like, man, but they killed it, man. Like after the J State game, it was just off the chain, man. So yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, I want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to anybody you want to give a shout out to, any plugs, let people know where they can find you, where they can follow you. So I'll give it over to you guys right now.
I'm gonna shout out to my mom and dad. I'm sure they watching right now. My sister. I'm gonna shout out to all my coaches, Coach Smitty, Coach Lemke, Coach Simmons, everybody. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at ThatBoyKendall, ThatBoyKendall.
Yeah, same thing. Shout out to the fam, of course. Mom, dad, love y'all. Sister, grandma. All the family members. I love all y'all. Shout out to all my coaches. Shout out to Clay. And shout out to whoever watching this and is a part of the bowler train, man. We got a lot in store. We got a lot coming this year, so just stay tuned.
Let's
yes,
go.
Sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
y'all barbecuing for the 4th?
What's up?
Y'all barbecuing for the 4th?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a little team barbecue up here for the 4th. We got a couple teammates that swear they can cook, that think they can put out on the grill. So,
yeah, definitely.
So I think we might have a little cook off on the 4th. Shoot some fireworks up. Have a little fellowship with the guys.
Well, don't get shot in the eye. That's all I need.
Y'all be careful
with
your fireworks.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to hear any tragic stories. Be careful.
Oh, nah.
Definitely not.
Hey, guys, anytime you guys are like family. So anytime you guys want to come on, you just give us a call or hit your grandfather up, your godfather, tell him to hit me up or whatever, and and then you guys, we always got a spot for you here. So we want to hear you. Maybe sometime during the season, we'll look to maybe get you guys on and talk a little bit more as we get going. All right. Less than 60 days away from the start of the season. You guys ready?
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, man. We ready for this season. Like I said, it's a big one. I look forward to being back on here. I might tune back in after this Jackson State game for them fans in the comments. But yeah, definitely looking forward to being back on here, man. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate you. Be well this summer, and we look forward to seeing you on the field when it's time to get rolling. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. That's Kendall and BJ Bohler again. Shout out to the Godfather. Shout out to Dad Geisen. That's how you know you're old, when you went to school with people's daddies and watching their sons. And it's like, wow, we're officially old. 30 years. It's been 30 years. So some of us a little bit more. So shout out to, I know I saw a few folks in there. I think Dad was in the chat room. I saw him in the YouTube chat room. So hopefully you guys make sure you go on Twitter, Instagram, go hit up the guys, Kendall and BJ. Let them know you appreciate them coming on the show. That's how we like to keep this thing rolling, showing some love and appreciation wherever we can. All right, we got to quickly get through a couple of things as we hit into overtime. I know Mel's like, oh, no, not overtime. Sorry. We got to go quick overtime. 2-minute drill here, Kelvin and Kofi. We got to finish talking about the 220 Club. Give me some takeaways that you got from there was a couple of announcements, Kelvin. You want me to go through them, or I just bulleted a whole bunch of stuff? Anything you want to bullet or get out that I saw, that you saw, whatever, or you want me to just go through the list?
You can just go through the list.
I think I lost him. Okay. Yeah,
No,
so
it's
jump
that
in
different
anytime
list.
you. All right, so here we go. Rattler Boosters. So last thing I left off talking about Lynn Thompson. Rattler Boosters came up and let people know that they contributed over $21,000 to new video equipment for the football program. So shout out to the Rattler Boosters for that. They also, just mark your calendars, everybody. Saturday, August 20th is the Volleyball and Football Kickoff Luncheon hosted by the Rattler Boosters. Now, again, that's Saturday, August 20th. That's 1 weekend before our game against who? North Carolina on the 27th.
North Carolina.
Guys, we are 9 Saturdays away. 9 Saturdays from our first game. Literally, it'll be here before you know it. Less than 59 days. From 12 to 2 p.m., that is when the luncheon will take place. Now, something they're doing different this year, they're selling tables. So they're selling tables of 8 for $400. Now, here's what goes to that table. It's actually for 7 people, because sitting with each table will be a member of the football program or the volleyball program. So if you want to sponsor a table and you have 6 other people, total of 7, you can buy a table for $400. I'm told, if I did the math correctly, they've got about 80 tables to sell. Do the math. That's a nice fundraiser. Following the luncheon from 12 to 2, they will have the fan day, which is free. And I think that's where they do the autographs with the posters and stuff like that. That will happen from 2 to 4. And so you can go to Rattler Boosters. You can look into that. I don't know the Rattler Booster website offhand to direct you to it, but be looking out for that, or go to the Rattler Boosters website. Also from the 220 Club meeting, July 20th. If I don't know, are the 220 Club luncheons open, or do you have to pay to be a part of the 220 Club to be a part of those luncheons?
They do accept donations, but there's nobody at the doors, collecting money when you come in.
Gotcha.
That's
believe,
just the expectation.
Okay, gotcha. Eddie Jackson said, I believe on the 20th luncheon. They will have a luncheon on July 6th, and then 2 weeks after that, on July 20th, they will be honoring George, the Godfather Thompson. He's 94 years old. One of the last 2 legends. There was some kind of I don't know if you think about how many people still work with Jake Gaither that are still alive. George Thompson is one of 2, maybe 3, but one of 2 at least. So they will be honoring him, recognizing him at that July 20th luncheon. So you guys who want to be a part of that, find your way there, and you can do so. AD Smith, Michael Smith, interim AD, came up and spoke as well. Talked about the stadium is still on schedule to be ready for the first home game. You mentioned it, Kelvin, that he went up to Pennsylvania to take a look at the press box, which is being constructed. I'm assuming they're constructing it up in Pennsylvania, and then they'll drive it down to Tallahassee for install. So he said that looks good. He also reminded people, again, season ticket renewals in June 30th. You can get that link on Ticketmaster. Actually, you can get that link if you go to FAMUathletics.com. That's where you can find that link for your memberships as well. Seatbacks. It's funny, you mentioned seatbacks. So chairbacks. So I know there was a lot of back and forth going on about whether they were going to allow people to bring in those chairbacks, and they will allow chairbacks this year, I think he didn't have air quotes or all capital letters, but by the way he emphasized it, if this were in text, he would be all caps this year. So it sounded like it's a concession for 1 year. If you want to bring in chairbacks, you can, but they have to be approved. They have to be a certain size. So if I don't know what it's going to be like going to the airport where you have a certain size carry-on luggage, and if it doesn't fit those dimensions, you won't be able to bring that chair back. So once those come out, you want to take a look at that. Anything else from Michael Smith that you might have heard that I missed, Kelvin? I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I think you covered it all. That's you got all the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, last but not least, Marvin Green, who's the director of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, did make an announcement that the Hall of Fame ceremony will take place the night before the first game of the year, September 9th. That's the day before the home opener. They are moving it to Lee Hall. Apparently, Lee Hall has gone through some renovations. So they're going to do more of a ceremony-style thing in the Lee Hall Auditorium, where they're going to probably create an atmosphere with some videos and let the speakers come up on stage and speak, whatever. So it's a little bit different style this year. And then they're going to do a post-ceremony reception over at the Grand Ballroom. So if you're interested in being a part and attending the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, that will be $75, the tickets. I don't know the website for the Sports Hall of Fame. How have they done that in the past, Kelvin, in terms of selling tickets? Do you know?
Generally, you go to members of the committee, and they'll have tickets. I believe they've made it available through the ticket office at times, but as far as being online and so forth, I don't know if that option is going to be available or not.
Okay. Did you guys, let's see. A lot of people were interested a lot of people had an interest in what was Coach Pillow of our FAMU women's basketball team doing, huh? Well, we've got, we're up to 4 new, possibly 5. I don't know. It's maybe not official, but we've got 2 new and an international flavor at that. So the 2 latest recruits, we talked about the 2 recruits last week. The 2 latest recruits to join the program, I may butcher these names up, so bear with me. I'm going to apologize well in advance for these names that I might. We've got a young lady, Yvette Subirats. She is a transfer from Ball State University. She's from Cerdanyola del Valles, Spain. She's from Spain. But anyway, she's a 5'9" junior guard.
You awful.
I'm
like,
sorry.
Dang, bro. Like,
you talking? I don't know what language you talking,
bro.
Cerdanyola
Jack the Butcher up in here, but just
come on. You guys. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let you guys try the next name then. Okay, since you want to be critical. Yvette, I believe, is the first name. Last name Subirats. I don't know. I'm trying my best here, fellas. All right. Anyway, she played 2 seasons at Ball State, 5'9" guard. Played as a true freshman and as a sophomore, primarily off the bench, but she did play a role, probably averaging anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes a game. I think she is a good transfer, probably in terms of somebody looking for some more time. She has a background in international. She has some international pedigree prior to going to Ball State. So it wasn't like she got over here to America and couldn't play. She's got some club experience in Europe, which if you're familiar, you're probably playing against older folks at those levels. And she's won. She's had some wins under her belt from overseas from Spain. So that'll be an interesting pickup. And then also just recently dropped, and if you guys are on FAMU women's basketball on Twitter, you saw this one come across. Ariana Grizzle, she's a transfer from Alabama, the University of Alabama. She's from Toronto, Canada. She's another 5'9" guard. She's a senior, played 3 seasons at Alabama. Not very much playing time over the 3 years, but very similar to Yvette, experience overseas. She had some good experience and some wins. She had some successful stats in her time in Canada. So a little international flavor. And then the one that I think was most interesting, but I don't know how official this is yet, because obviously we haven't seen FAMU tweet this out. This has come from her people, but possibly a young lady from England by the name of Molly James. And she played for Gloucester City Basketball Club. She had a few 20-point games, but there is video highlights of Miss James, and she looks like she can play. So she's another one, probably looks about 5'7", 5'8". So hopefully we can get Coach Pillow on here in the next week or two and get her to tell us a little bit about these players. You know, a lot of people were talking about, what is Coach Pillow doing? Y'all got her on milk cartons and all this other foolishness, talking about, you know, the Instagram team and all this other stuff. That's great. So, yeah, the stats, go look at the accolades. The accolades are there. I don't know what the stats are from Canada, Scotty, but you can go look. You can go look at the accolades, and she's won some championships. She's been on some first teams, and you know she's got some wins under her belt. I don't know if the girl, I don't know what she did. All right, I didn't do that much investigative reporting, but maybe over the next week we'll see what we can dig up. All right, any final thoughts, Kofi or Kelvin, that you want to add before we get out of here?
Man, I'm excited, man. Football season is right around the corner, and so it's about to it's beginning to look a lot like football season, and that means that the news and the I want to say the additional signings that are on the way are going to blow people's minds. So I'm looking forward to that, and also, you know, support the Striker Youth Arts Project, guys. This is major. This is a big deal for our community as we look to provide additional options for our youth to develop. And the Striker Youth Arts Project is one of those things.
Go ahead, Kelvin. Any thoughts?
Yes, I want to just make sure, you know, wish everybody, you know, a safe weekend. Make sure, you know, those who traveling like myself, you know, be careful out there, be patient, you know, gas high, flights getting canceled, all that good stuff. So, you know, plan in advance and be patient and take necessary precautions. You know, COVID is not gone yet. So you want to make sure you still, you know, follow all the CDC guidelines and so forth. And then, like you all, you know, for me, in all intents and purposes, it's football season now. We're going to start having all these conference media days in the next couple of weeks and so forth. The Rattlers report to camp, if I'm not mistaken, July 27th. So you know, let's get our season tickets. Let's get all our Rattler gear, and let's go support them Rattlers. And that's it.
Well said. I want to give a shout out to, I didn't get a chance to, we'll talk about it next week, but pretty interesting stuff coming out of Jacksonville with regard to what they're doing with the big game that they chose to set up. We'll talk a little bit about that, because I personally think that will open the door. If the city of Jacksonville plays this right, this could open the door up to some big opportunities Yeah, that's what they managed to put together, a big time showdown in what do they call that stadium there in Jacksonville? The Bank.
Yeah.
But anyway,
TIAA.
big time SWAC matchup. Bethune-Cookman get a chance to make some money, and who knows? I mean, I can see some future FAMU games possibly being played there. If they do it right, every year they can have a SWAC showdown featuring either Bethune or FAMU versus a big-time SWAC opponent in that stadium every year if they play it right. So
or
that's
South
something
Carolina
to kind of.
State.
There you go. I like the idea of that. South Carolina State,
Yeah,
mate.
we both play South Carolina State. That would be an ideal game, neutral site game for either one of us.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we got more to talk about next week, next show. Thank you to everybody. Make sure you guys go download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. My JBN or My BCSN is where you can find it on the Google Play or the Apple Store. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ONG Strike Zone. Send any thoughts and comments you might have to ongstrikezone@gmail.com. Again, want to thank our guests, Shepiro Hardemon, Kendall, and BJ Bohler. Appreciate the guests. Appreciate all you guys coming into the chat rooms and interacting with us. Shout out to our moderator in there, Dr. Lori, and our producer behind the scenes, Melody Lucas. We got her. She's gonna become a Rattler one day. I think we didn't show her the light.
She ready.
She's
fired up,
ready.
ready
She's
to go.
be a Rattler. Yes, sir. Hey, you guys be safe over the 4th of July. Pray for your boy because I got a lot of moving to do. I need all the prayer I can get. So might have a new background come next week because I might be, who knows where I'll be. I might be on the road doing shows for the next few weeks. But anyway, that'll be it. For Kofi, for Kelvin, I'm Brian. Wish you guys a safe 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you after the holiday. Rattler Nation, make sure to strike, and strike again. Night.